Hey guys, it's Alex. Today let's talk about goal setting. So my wife and I actually just started this last night. I've set goals in the past, but the type I'm going to talk about today, the idea being that you can't work for something if you don't know what you're working for. And if you don't give yourself a completion date for it, then you don't know, or then you could just put it off and never end up happening, or it'll never end up happening. So if I say, I want to make $10 billion, and then just like, yep, then I've got a goal, but, I could make $10 billion over my lifetime, possibly. That'd be fucking awesome, but, but that wouldn't really be the goal, If instead I said, I want to make $10 billion by 2018, I've kind of given myself a deadline. And so I don't expect to achieve a $10 billion from what I'm making now goal by 2018, but it would be fucking awesome. But that's one thing I've heard talked about, is setting unrealistic goals, because the idea is if you 10x your goal, this is something Grant Cardone talks about a lot, and I like him because he's not fluffy, he's very straightforward about things and very almost harsh or something, but he actually calls it 10xing your goals, and the idea being you say, okay, well, I want to get a $20,000 increase to my salary or something like that. So then you go, well, how about a $200,000 increase? And you set your goal at a $200,000 increase, and you build your life around that idea. Not like go buy a $700,000 house because you can now afford it, because you're planning a $200,000 increase, but you run your life as if you're going to be making, or as if you're making that. So this is easier. Like in my case, I'm a full-time 9-to-5er right now. So I don't really have like a concept of I could work twice as hard and make twice as much money. I'm on like salary, so I can't really just I could work my entire week and still make the same amount of money that I'm making now, or that I make when I work not as much. So the idea in that case is a little more difficult. In this concept, you have to find other sources of income and stuff like that on the side that would allow you to do that. But in the case of, say, a salesperson or something like that, they would build their schedule, and that would be my approach, would be to find other sources of income or something like that, and then try to increase those and build those up to make me this extra $200,000 a year or whatever. So that is, that's that side. For like a salesperson or something like that, you build your life in okay, so you schedule everything out better, you try to maximize your work efforts and stuff like that, and the idea just is that if you're not actively working to get to a point like that, you're actively repelling it. Because if you are making, let's say $30,000 a year and you want to make 40, and then you 10x that $10,000 increase to $100,000, and so then you want to make $130,000, then you're living your life, but then you're still living your life like you make $30,000, like you're just kind of going to work and kind of just bumbling through the day, and not really achieving anything, not really learning anything. You're just kind of going to work, doing your job, and then going home and watching TV and stuff like that, not really growing yourself. Then you're going to be stuck at that $10,000 or that $30,000 salary. You might someday get a $10,000 increase just because you got lucky that you got promoted or something, or because you do your job and nothing more, but you've been there for 10 years or something, so then you grow to more than that. But if you're going to live your life like you're making $100,000, then you grow your, you might be going home, researching things, learning a new trade or learning a new skill set in your industry or something like that, or even, like I said, in my case, trying side businesses, like trying maybe making an ebook or something like that, to the idea being to then make that side money increase you that much. But then the salesperson might research their industry more or take some classes on sales or something like that, and so then I don't know why my screen keeps going dark again, but so the idea is then that you're growing to, or you're attempting to grow to that amount, and you might never reach that amount. That's why you 10x it, because even if you reach a 10th or 2/10 of it, like a fifth of it, then you're better off, so you set your goal to, I want to make $1 million in the next year, and like I have no feasible way to do that, but if I start working toward making $1 million in a year, then I'm not happy when I'm making $200 a month, and I'm like, okay, I need to work harder still. Or if I set my goal to be like, I want to make at least $1,000 extra next year on the side, and then I make $200 a month, then I might get complacent. I might be like, all right, hell yeah, I'm on to $1,200 here. I'm doing well, or something like that. So that's the idea there. But our I kind of went on a weird side there, but that because you have watched and you know how I am. But the goals work in any way. So like in our case, my goal was to get another Neurojunction video out by the end of this month, because I missed last month because of the stuff that went on last month, and I'm trying to get back into it because I want that channel to work. And I really like the ideas that are behind that channel and what it means and what it stands for and stuff like that. So I really want that to work out as much as I want. Probably more than I want this one to work out, but I'd really like this one to take off too, because I really enjoy the self-help industry and stuff as a whole. I think there's a lot of fluff in it, but I also think that people need that. Like they need, I look at certain people and they're just droning through life, and like they need something to motivate them, whether it be fluff or not, Hold on, loud bridge time. Always gotta wait out the loud bridge, But yeah, so I like the industry, and I like the ideas in it, and I like what it has done for me, especially because over the past, I used to be like that. I used to not. I've always loved learning, but I never really bothered with it because it always felt like it was just like whatever. But I understand now how important it is for my well-being and stuff. So, but anyway, sorry again. Goal setting. So my goal, I set a goal for before the end of the month to publish a new video on Neurojunction, and so then. Okay, I've taken that step. I asked Becky to do the same thing. She's not a Neurojunction video, but a similar aspect of it, my wife, and or like a similar goal sort of setting. And so then we've set our end goals, right? So this is like, me saying by 2018 I want to make $10 billion, like it's good to have that goal, but without setting some kind of like milestones, 2018 will come and I'll look at 2018 and I'll be like, oh shit, oh I'm a failure, oh I'm lame, oh I'm terrible, and maybe not even to that aspect of it, just that I won't have been prepared and I won't realize how I'm not moving well enough and stuff like that. So instead, you set little mini goals the whole way. So like in my case, as of tomorrow evening, I want to have the subject chosen for the Neurojunction video. And then through next week, I want to do research on it. And then the week after that, I want to start recording. And usually I just do like all the recording in like one day, over a weekend or something. And then after that, I want to do the editing and have it published by the 31st. So, I know if by tomorrow evening I haven't chosen a topic yet, then I'm behind. And if by next week I haven't chosen a topic, then I'm probably screwed, or I need to work really hard over the next couple days to get it done. So I know I can kind of check up on my progress. And that's, the same kind of thing. If I said I wanted to make $10 billion by 2018, I am not 100% certain how you'd go about approaching that goal, because that's outrageous. But, you might say, each month I'd like to find a new source of side income, or like each month I'd like to find a new way to make $1,000 or something like that. You're still way far off of $10 billion just because that's a ridiculous amount of money. But at least you're working toward it, but I'm not 100% sure how you'd go about setting that goal. But it's, you set mini goals along the way because it's such an outlandish, outrageous goal. Or even if it's not, I want to lose 10 pounds, say that one, you set your goal to, I want to have lost 10 pounds in 3 months, I don't know what's realistic for you or whatever, so I'm not setting it for you, and I'm not even setting it for me because my goals there are different, but, I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months, that's about 3 pounds a month, like 3.33, infinite repeating pounds a month, and that, that also means you would lose 5 pounds the first month, and 2 pounds the second month, and 3 pounds the last month, or anything like that. So you then say, okay, well, I know to lose 3 pounds or 5 pounds in a month, I need to stop eating so much candy. So by the end of this month, I want to have gotten all the candy out of my diet, and any kind of, and you also just check your goals. You say, because it doesn't even have to be like a set defined, I want to have lost 5 pounds by the end of this month or something like that. You just, I want to have lost 30% of it by the end of this month, 30% of it by the end of this month, and 30% of it by, 100% of it by the end or whatever. And the idea being that, 1 month you might lose 50% of your goal, and then the next month you might lose 10% of your goal. So then in that last month, you have the time to recover. So, the whole idea is you're setting a goal, realistic or unrealistic. Like in my case, publishing a new Neurojunction video by the end of the month is very realistic. I, might have done well to set it sooner, but I have other interests as well, like trying to practice guitar and stuff like that. So and it's not as much as I want Neurojunction to succeed, it's not, I'm not, I still have a job, and I still have hobbies, and I still have a wife, other hobbies, and I still have a wife to be around, and family to be around and stuff, so it's not the tippest of my top priority right now, so I gave it a month, or I gave it a couple weeks, because I figured in a couple weeks I could do it at a more leisurely pace and not have to rush through it, but I could then also say by the end of this year, I want to double my income, and that's, I don't even know how I'd approach that, but I wouldn't hate that goal. And then start working toward it. It also would be very difficult since it's August. I only have 5 months left, so, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I guess it is 4 months. Wow. The year's almost over, guys. So, then you just start taking actions to do that. And there's things like The Secret, which, I've always thought was kind of woo-woo and, whatever. But I do believe that setting intentions is very important. Because you set your intention and then your mind makes decisions based on that. You might not even consciously go, well, I need to make, say you want to pay your credit card off by the end of the year. You might be, oh, we should go out to eat. And then you might go, or your mind might go, well, actually that $60 I just spent going out to eat, could pay down the credit card a lot more, and we don't actually need to go out to eat because we have food at home that we could eat and stuff, and it's probably better for us and takes less time and stuff like that, so you could you could make these decisions, or you don't even need to consciously realize it, though, half the time. There's a story in the 4-Hour Body about a guy who did nothing consciously different but weigh himself every day. So he had a chart of his weight fluctuations and stuff like that, and he detached himself from the number, so it wasn't like, I think I've actually talked about this on the trending episode, but like, he detached himself from the number, so he didn't like, it goes, when it went up, he didn't like, oh, and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I'm sure there were days that happened and stuff, because, you know, I mean, there's always going to be that, oh, I didn't make progress thing and stuff, but like, his general thing, though, was like, he just, you know, if he went outside of a certain range, he didn't care and whatever, and at one point he just decided that at one point he noticed that he was following the trend line that he had created, and he was like, whoa. And, you know, I mean, the trend line was, I will lose this much each day and stuff, and he just calculated it out as if he had lost that much each day, and then saw that he was following the trend line, and interestingly enough, he didn't try to do it at all. He said basically that he was actually consciously making a decision not to go outside the trend line, and making a decision not to, you know, change too much, but he might have said, oh, I'll walk to work instead of driving there today because, you know, whatever, I'm trying to lose weight and stuff. So I don't know, it's just interesting. You set goals and your mind just kind of takes them, and I mean, this is kind of the subject, the topic that the Secret was based on, was like, you know, I mean, you manifest these things or whatever, and I think the guy who made it kind of made it more fluffy sounding than most of the people in it. Like, the one lady that I always remember, I think her name's Lisa Nichols, she was kind of wacky looking in The Secret. She's a lot more normal acting and looking now. But she, so it made it feel like that. But I've actually heard her say that she didn't intend it to sound as woo-woo as the guy who edited it made it sound. It was more like she was just trying to impress upon you how important it is to set your intentions, because once your intentions are set, then your mind is left trying to make it work. You know, this is the same kind of principle that Think and Grow Rich is based on. I think it's Think and Grow Rich. There was another one I was reading too that was similar to it, but basically that, you know, it's not some magical, like, oh, it's, you know, I set my goal, so magically these people are there, and magically this money just flowed into my wallet or something like that. But the principle is just that you are actively, what am I trying to say? You're actively searching and working toward these things without even realizing it, because you have set that intention. So, you know, I mean, this morning I've thought about a couple ideas for the video and stuff, and last night I did the same thing, you know, so like, I had set my intention, and I set my intention to decide on what the subject will be, and sure enough, I started deciding on what the subject will be, you know, I mean, that's a little one, but you set it for something larger, and the same kind of thing happens. It's not magic, it's not, you know, I mean, it might be, I'm not going to deny that, but I don't believe that it's magic, and I don't believe it's some, like, magical, metaphysical, like, you know, like John Assaraf, the guy who made The Secret, is just going to, like, come down and grant you your 3 wishes or whatever, you know. I think it's that your mind sets the intention, and from there, you are, you know, you're working toward it, and it's part of your goal set, you know, and I'm getting a call from a number I don't recognize, of course. If you're watching this and you're a spammer, go to hell. Stop calling me. It's never gonna matter. It's just annoying and illegal because I'm on the do not call list several times, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going to sign off because I'm almost at 20 minutes here, so, but yeah, set your goals and set some mini goals along the way that'll help you reach them. So it'll help out a lot. and just having that intention. And it doesn't have to be like big crazy goals like, you know, I am going to be a different person. Well, also they have to be measurable, but they don't have to be like big crazy goals like I am going to, you know, lose 200 pounds in the next 50 days. You know, I mean, they have to be realistic because you want them to happen, you know, and like life is, like I've said in the past, life is going to pass no matter what. So you may as well set goals that are realistic that you can actually manage and actually reach. So, you know, I mean, set your goals realistically and achievably and measurably and, you know, go for them. Just write them down somewhere, set some dates on them and stuff, and, you know, keep an eye on them. I mean, make a vision board. People love that kind of stuff. I've never made a vision board, but I hear it's pretty awesome, so you can try that out. I'll do some research on that. Maybe we can talk about that in a couple days. So, but I'm going to sign off. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys are effing amazing, and I will see you tomorrow.